Why don't we just start with Kamala, because it's just so fun and it's Monday, so everybody needs a little fun. She's launching this book and she's trying to make it sound like there are some real nuggets in there, some really exciting things. And hold on a second. This is the tease for what's going to get us really excited to buy her book, 107 Days. Here's SOT 8.
I mean, there's a lot of personal stuff in the book. I mean, poor Dougie.
Yeah. You're blowing the lid off of Doug? What's going on?
For example, my birthday's in October. The election's in November. You see where I'm going?
No one does.
And Dougie kind of dropped the ball on my big birthday.
He didn't get you anything?
Oh, you have to read the book.
All right, just tell me the page. Tell me the page.
It's all classic Kamala. The weird, drunk-sounding giggling at absolutely nothing, saying nothing, nothing clever, nothing amusing. Her weirdness is somewhat amusing, but she and her substantive comments are not. Her tease, we've got to read the book to find out if he didn't get her a present. Who gives a flying fig? She's off socially in like a very weird way, continues to be, Michael, and yet the reports persist that the reason she didn't run for governor of California is she's using this book to soft launch her 2028 presidential run. Your thoughts?
Megyn, I guess you and I differ here. I'm on the edge of my seat. What did he or did he not get her for her birthday? This is almost certainly the most exciting thing in the book. The book is called, 107 Days? The life and times, the rollicking campaign of Kamala Harris. My first book that I ever put out is called Reasons to Vote for Democrats, a comprehensive guide. It has no words in it, and it became a #1 national bestseller. It almost certainly has the exact same content as Kamala's book, because what could she possibly write about? No one voted for her. No one wanted her to be the nominee. The only reason she got it is because her boss made the mistake of going on television and showing everyone that his brain didn't work anymore. So she was the only person who could fill it. No one at that point even wanted her to be the president. And then she kept making a lot of mistakes, but not even interesting mistakes, kind of boring mistakes. Like she was just boring on the trail, and then she lost. What could you possibly have in the book? In her defense, this was a cheap cash grab, and she got whatever the advance was, and now she's got to go through the charade of selling the books. Going on the Colbert Show is just as good as going on any show. She could go on the top-rated show in the country. No one's going to buy this book. So you're perhaps right that she's trying to soft launch a presidential campaign. I'm a little bit more cynical about it, maybe. I think this is a cash grab for a desperate, gasping politician whose career is over, whether she knows it or not. I think the reason she didn't run for governor of California is she could lose, because nobody likes her. In her defense, she is very good at behind-the-scenes politics. I'm not even making Willie Brown jokes. I mean, she's good at wielding the levers of power and insinuating herself with all sorts of political elites. In terms of retail politics, the woman could not get herself elected dog catcher in Palookaville. And so maybe she's got some delusion that she's going to run for president in 2028. Ain't going to happen. Take the money and run, Kamala.
Maybe behind the scenes, her little "I eat no for breakfast" works on these weak-kneed Democrat donors who are like, yeah, I like it. Look at this, a strong black woman who eats no for breakfast. Here's my checkbook. Here's a little bit more of how she's titillating us, explaining the photo in her book of her from the day Joe Biden dropped out. Watch this, at 9.
That day, July 21st, 2024, was a Sunday, and it was, my family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, my nieces' children, I call them my baby nieces. And we had a really wonderful brunch. Again, I talk about what that day is, but, and then I get the call from Joe. And immediately, that's the dining room at the vice president's residence, and immediately my incredible team, people just started coming. And we turned it into a war room. And I made over 100 calls that day. I rolled calls. And that's me on a call. So you'll see my phone is actually on my lap. And you know, I know I've been teased about this, but I like these kinds of ear pods that have the thing.
Yeah.
Because I've served on the Senate Intelligence Committee. I have been in classified briefings, and I'm telling you, like, don't be on the train using your ear pods and thinking somebody can't listen to your conversation. I'm just telling you, that's a little bit more secure.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Michael, your face is exactly how I feel. He's got, listening audience, he's got the hand over his mouth and a furrowed brow, trying to understand how she came within a whisper of the presidency, this woman, Michael.
This is what happens when your entire life is just bred in a petri dish to appeal to the lowest common denominator of lowercase d Democratic politics, is there's just nothing interesting about you. I mean, say what you will about Trump, but the fact that Trump became a politician only 10 years ago, the fact that he was a boisterous billionaire, playboy, real estate mogul, TV star, he's really interesting. Even people who hate him just find him attractive. It's like a moth to a flame. Our attention just goes to this guy. They want to talk about him. Yes, whereas with Kamala, she was raised to never say anything offensive, to just appeal to the most normie, plain, white bread spaghetti dinner kind of constituent. And so the most interesting thing she can talk about are the chords that come out of her headphones. But I want to go back to the first part of the clip. She says, and I was sitting there, I was sitting there, and then I got the call, and I turned my dining room into a war room. What war exactly? So is this like, I don't know, Czechoslovakia just before the Nazi tanks rolled in? What war room? This was the worst side in a war I've ever seen. I mean, I guess she sort of put up a fight, but she got absolutely steamrolled. So I don't really get ultimately what the point of the book is, other than as a cash grab for her retirement plan, because she got clobbered. I mean, the campaign was poorly run, even by Democrat standards. Even insiders will admit that. She lost to Trump, who, to bring up the Hitler analogy again, all of the people around her said was Hitler, but then Trump not only managed to win, he won with the popular vote for the first time as a Republican in 20 years. I mean, it was just such an historic drubbing. Why does she want to rehash it?
Yeah, well, she thinks she's interesting. This is what I find interesting about her, is how empty she is. The only time she really gets animated is when she talks about race, abortion, or herself. Truly, I'm a connoisseur now of this woman's commentary. And those are the three things that really light her up. And the giggling about when she gets to herself, I call them my baby nieces. Like, that's something special about me. I have this term of endearment about my two nieces. I put the word baby in front of them.
They're nieces, but they're also babies. You're saying, I'm just so quirky, I decided to call them baby nieces. That's
what I do. That's my thing. And then she gets equally animated when she gets to her stupid AirPod choice. Like, I know things. I've been told I'm special. I have briefings and I can just tell you, get the ones that have the thing, okay? The ones that have the thing. It's ridiculous. But she comes alive. On the subject of me? Yes. Oh, this is actually, I have a button on this. Reminds me of this gal from Legally Blonde. Me! That's Kamala.
A man wrapped up in himself makes a small package indeed, Megyn. And I suppose you're right. What's so disturbing about it is not just that a politician would make an anodyne remark or observation and then pretend that were edgy. That's actually pretty typical. Politician on the trail, listen, I'm going to get a little blue here. I'm going to loosen my collar and say that I like beer. You know, that's the kind of thing that a politician will try to say to ingratiate himself. But they're always joking. You know, Bill Clinton goes, you know, I really love fast food. And, you know, that's like the 500th sketchiest thing about the guy. He doesn't generally bring up the pot in the UK and all the women or anything like that. But with Kamala...
That's not the only fast thing he likes.
That's right. Am I right? The problem, though, with Kamala is... it seems as though this actually is the edgiest, most titillating part about her. You know,
that's right.
I remember she went on the Breakfast Club during the campaign, or maybe it was even on the previous campaign when she was running for vice president. And she said that she loved listening to Snoop Dogg in college. And you can just look at the timeline. Snoop Dogg had not come out with his debut album while she was in college, so it was either a false memory or she just made it up. And I thought, man, lady, you're not even edgy enough to listen to Snoop. Like, legitimately, when she talked about how she liked to put pepper on her chicken in that cringe-inducing video with Tim Walz during the campaign, I think that actually is her, and I think that's even worse than being dishonest.
I agree. I don't think it is that she has been taught not to touch anything radioactive and that she's been like schooled in this leftist field of don't offend, don't touch any, third rails. I think she's empty inside. There's nothing there. She's advanced. I mean, you mentioned Willie Brown. We know how she advanced originally. And then after that, she rode a cultural wave of Black, Indian, and a woman all the way to the vice presidency. And it almost got her the presidency. If it weren't for Donald Trump, it could have happened. She didn't need anything more. She's been empty inside with nothing interesting. Yes. And it's not a surprise. She didn't live a life before becoming a politician. It's like, I always worry about people who become journalists without having had a life before getting here. Yeah. Like, you need to have done something to teach yourself about the world that you want to report on. And same for a politician. You need to have done something to teach yourself about the world that you now want to legislate on or lead. And she hasn't done it. She is an empty vessel.
There's a word here for this that we're sorely lacking in our present culture, which is magnanimity. Going back to classical antiquity, there was this idea of greatness of soul. And I was reading a comment by the great Harvard law professor Adrian Vermeule the other day, where he said, I wonder if you could meet a European noble from before the 16th century. I think we would be shocked and terrified by the greatness of his cruelty and the greatness of his gentility. That he'd be as brutal as anybody who's ever lived, but also as courteous and chivalric as anybody who's ever lived. And we just can't take that these days because it seems as though people have become smaller. One can have greatness of soul in a grotesque and horrifying way, but at least there's something there. And one can also be one of the great saints of history. But when it comes to these modern politicians, and sadly for Kamala, she's the exemplar of it, it just seems like she's just smaller. She's not that bad. She's not that good. She's just not much of anything at all.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they are moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your personal savings to worry about. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold, like from Birch Gold Group. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. And Birch was an advertiser on this show 12 months ago. If you had purchased then, you'd be 40% richer today. Now's the time. Central banks continue to bolster demand for gold by burying in record quantities. Global instability and tension is high, and Birch Gold makes owning physical gold so easy. Easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or buy some to store in your home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold is going to send you a free info kit on gold. Look into it. See if it's right for you. There's no obligation, just useful information to help you make a decision. With an A+ rating, with a Better Business Bureau, and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of your savings today. Text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for for more clips and full episodes.